So here we are, the culmination of all the Advanced with Hazel videos that I've made recently. We have the high grade Hazel OZA gigantic arms unit. Just drink in the insanity. I love everything about this. It is so stupid. It's great. It's one of those P Bandai's, $150 Canadian. I think I touched on it briefly in the Primrose review, because that's what I originally wanted. I wanted the Primrose backpack, and then when I found out it was about $60 Canadian, and this thing is 150, well, it just made sense to go for this, because in here you get a more Gundam-esque, like more white Hazel, advanced Hazel. You get the Primrose, the complete Primrose. You get parts from the Hurudu and the Hurudu 2, and brand new Psycho Gundam arms that go onto it. And I love it. It is the dumbest thing, and it is as unwieldy as you might think it is. See, these hips, I didn't mention in any of the other videos, they are a tad on the loose side. It doesn't matter with any of the other kits because there's nothing weighing it down really, but this thing, it definitely has its issue standing. And they thought of that. They give you a stand, one of those newer stands with an adapter made for the back, which is, this part here is the Hurudu, which you can actually stick on the crotch if you want, if you don't want the manipulator arms. It's made for the Hurudu wing thingies, but it just goes in here. I don't know why they did that though, because you might be able to tell the those stomping boots are, they don't really quite match up. I can't get it any closer. Like, you can lean him back like that, but then he's like pelvic thrusting to eternity. This thing here definitely needs to be on the longer side to connect that and make it straight. I don't know what they were thinking. And this thing, God, this is literally the worst part of the whole kit. It wasn't a big deal with the Primrose because you only had one, and it wasn't that, I didn't find it that big of a deal. But it is so easy to knock both of these off because they just go into these grooves on this new torso that the Primrose came with, that comes with this thing. And they're actually, I think they're supposed to be farther out, but I just use the inner groove. It makes it less possible to knock off. But now he's like, hope he's not claustrophobic, because those things are really in the way. So let's get down to it. You get, like I said, you get an advanced Hazel, which means you get all the parts that come with it, the enhanced shield booster. As I talk while I put that back on. On the other parts, like the antenna that comes in 2 halves, they didn't improve that. It's just 2 halves like before. So you can give it, if you want, you can have it with the advanced sensor, which I might. I mean, it could be different. You got the manipulator arms, you got those extended boots, same stickers as before. But now you have the Hurudu. I love the fact, I think this is the only reason you have the Hurudu parts at all, is because of this main piece that connects the Hurudu 2 parts here onto the body. Because I don't think anything else is actually used from that. It's kind of funny. But then those Hurudu 2 parts, they might look familiar because they look like the ones from the God Plant that I talked about before. But these are actually completely different. They still have the opening part because you also get the long blade rifle with that goes onto the normal Hazel beam rifle. But these parts are actually new as well, especially that part. There should be a clip that would connect to the shoulder over here that I could hold. But obviously these things are in the way now, so it doesn't really work. So you're not supposed to use that. You can't really. But it can still hold it. And in the kit you get this extra hand that's slanted, because it was always a problem with that long rifle having it in the Hazel's arm. They have to be basically perfectly straight. Now you can get a little bit of a bend. Now personally, I've never been able to get the this cannon in here properly, because I think the white parts are actually from the original, which utilizes this piece, which has a hole for this peg that's in the white, and it goes in and it actually stays there. But maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see a way to actually get the new one in there. So maybe it's not supposed to, maybe it's only supposed to hold it, but that's interesting that you can't do that. And if the white parts seem to be the same, how do I know that these are different from the gut plant? Well, these parts here, the dark blue, on the original, you had to pull them off and peg them into separate positions if you want them forward or back. But these are actually on their own track, so you don't have to disassemble the kit. You just slide it forward and backwards. And also, you got these extra arms. There's 2 of these, which I believe they're different from the gut plant as well, but they hold the 2 cannons, which you can have open up, and then you just gotta peg them in so it looks like they're firing. So yeah, you got quite a bit of weapons. You got the long range rifle, you got the manipulator arms, which can hold beam sabers, but you still have the one here. You've got the cannons on the side here, but then of course you have the amazing Psycho Gundam arms, which are completely new. I was worried, I thought they might be the same and they just use stickers on the yellow. No, these are new completely. First off, you don't have the transformation gimmick on these arms, so there's no double sliding out jointage, and there's no flippity floppy piece here. You have none of that. So they completely reworked it and improved, because, well, you have, like, I mean, there's no sense in going over the Hazel's posability. It hasn't changed at all. It's, if anything, limited because of this parts here. You can't really move the head much. The shoulder armor is nice. It is a little more freeing. But anyways, onto these things. They just peg into the Harudo 2 parts, which I do want to mention, you cannot do this on the gut plant. These parts are not the same. These are new. So they go right in here, and they did a really good job with the, I love the yellow, all this yellow plastic, no stickers on the arms. But yeah, you've got some good posability, and double jointed elbows. If we bring in the original again, you just got the one. I'll forgive it because it has to transform, if you want to call it what it does, a transformation. And then you've got some good wristage, and it's the same kind of articulation as the original, but these are only hinged on the original, where now you've got the yellow, which are slightly ball jointed, so you can pose them a tad. It's not going to blow your socks off, but I do like the fact that it can at least do more than what it could before. And in case you're wondering, you can put the original Psycho Gundam arms into the same port. And unfortunately, you can't swap these new Harudo 2 parts onto the gun plant that I've been able to figure out, because the holes that connect it to this middle piece aren't on the original part of the gun plant. So that's kind of annoying. You still have to take some like tape or something to thicken those pegs up for that version. So man, this thing is great, and the fact that it comes with parts from other kits does mean you can do a few other things with it. You can take this part, which is also from the Harudo, and if you want, you can take your shield booster now, or enhanced shield booster in my case, because this kit comes with one. You don't use it, or you're not supposed to use it in this configuration, but you can totally do it. You can slide it into like there, and if you do have another advanced Hazel like I do, you can take its shield booster, and boom, you got a double shield booster. And I'm going to give those shields to the advanced Hazel that I already have. So we'll have a little bit more, and you might notice it has some white shoulder armor, because you actually get the normal torso of the Hazel custom, but also the shoulder armor. So I just decided to give it a little more white on the torso. And this is from also the normal Harudo. There should be some bars in here, but you could actually use these and replace them. They would fit, but you don't get them in this kit, so I think it looks okay. I could cut those off, but I like the little extra armor on the chest and the white. And then I also decided to give my normal Hazel custom the extra gem shield that you get with this kit, because it is, once again, the advanced Hazel. So yeah, now it has 3 shields. And if I bring in my Hazel 2, I decided to give it some white armor from the Hazel custom here, and also in the chest, just to give it some white to go with the backpack. And it's going to have the long blade rifle. Just got to give it a shield. I'll think of something. I think I might have a normal booster laying around. And this is probably where I'm going to stop talking about Advanced of Zeta kits for a while, because that's all I've got. Well, I'd like to get some other ones that are P Bandai, of course. The fact that they are P Bandai is the problem, and they're just way too expensive to go crazy with all of them. And, well, they do get a lot more crazy than this. If they ever actually made them, that would be amazing and expensive as hell.